Hi guys, so this is my new bias effects rig. Check this out. Sounds pretty good to me. So what I've done is I've got bias effects and I'm running my Apogee Jam into the bias effects setup. Now there's the output setting thing down here and you can turn on and off the cabs, the virtual cabinets. So that got me thinking, why don't I get a power amp and some real guitar speakers? These are Celestion's Creamback M's. So these are 65 watt each, these speakers, but they sound apparently like the Celestion Greenbacks. I mean, I think that these sound quite a bit brighter than the Greenbacks, but that may be because they've not been broken in properly yet. But we'll see. But what I've done here is I've run a plexi amp and a dual rectifier amp on opposite sides with a tube screamer. And hey, let's just see if there's a panning delay. There isn't one by default. But hey, with a half decent delay in feedback time, this should give me a decent solo tone live, so I can go. May need a bit of EQ work in post, but considering that this is not a real guitar amp, I think it's doing okay. I mean, let's just throw that in and take the gains down. Less gains. Starting to sound pretty good to me. So let's get a reverb going, a plate. Oh, way less than that. Compressor. Let's turn this into a compressor. I've heard worse sounds, and like I was saying in the previous video, bias effects cost me about £10. I got the cabinets for not a lot of money, and the power amp I already had, the connector, the iPad I already had, the Apogee Jam I already had, so all I've really spent on this is the £10 for XFX, and hey, I mean, this may not quite be up there with the several £1,000 units, but price to performance ratio, come on. I mean, I'm saying very little in this video because I just want to play, because this is making me want to come up with new ideas and new things. I've not quite figured out how I add, there we go. Add new things yet, because I have some things in mind, like kind of, there's a 10-band EQ rack which might help me take away some of the nastiness at the end of, yeah, so I could probably take some nasty stuff down. And high cut, I don't know, 10K? So I've mic'd this up, as you can see, with two SM57s just off the cap, right on the cloth. So that's what you're hearing through there. And I was finding it a little bright in the room. I'm going to see how it sounded in post, but I've just taken a bit of 8 and 16K off with this EQ at the end and put a high cut into 10K? Yeah, 10K-ish. So that... delay and reverb out, and suddenly that sounds much better in the room. So yeah, I like this, and I might even take it on tour with me if I end up on tour at any point. But yeah, I still have all the analog tube gear, and that is probably what I'm going to use in the studio, because as good as Bias FX is for this kind of stuff, it's still kind of a borderline toy. So tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me if you think the sound sucked, which could just be me in the room getting used to it. Tell me if you think you prefer the original, you prefer the XFX, the Kemper, practicalities, whatever they are. Talk to me about it. This is what you can do with an iPad. If you already had one, wow. So I'm Adam Steele for Hot Pole Studios. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought. Give us a like and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate that. Thank you.